Dean Martin walked into the Beverly Wilshire Hotel on a warm September afternoon in 1965, heading to the front desk to pick up a package, when he heard a voice that made him stop cold. Loud, harsh, coming from the reception area. "I already told you, no dogs allowed, and we don't allow your kind here either. This is a respectable establishment." Dean turned, saw a young black boy, maybe 11 years old, standing at the desk, clean clothes, polite posture, holding a leash. At the end of the leash, a golden retriever, well-groomed, calm, wearing a service vest. The boy was looking up at the hotel manager, a middle-aged white man in a suit. The manager's face was twisted with disgust. "But sir," the boy said quietly, "this is my service dog. My doctor gave me papers. I have a reservation. My grandmother sent me. She's a guest here. Room 412. Mrs. Patterson, I'm just trying to go see her." The manager leaned over the desk. "I don't care about your papers. I don't care about your grandmother. No dogs and no blacks. Not in my lobby. Not in my hotel. Now get out before I call security." And Dean Martin, who'd performed in this hotel a dozen times, who'd brought them thousands of dollars in business, made a decision that would cost the hotel its reputation. He walked over. It was September 14th, 1965, Beverly Hills, California, the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, one of the most prestigious hotels in Los Angeles, where movie stars stayed, where deals were made, where the wealthy and famous came to be seen. Dean had a relationship with this hotel, performed in their ballroom, stayed there when he didn't want to drive home, knew the staff, knew the owners, had pull, influence, and he was about to use every bit of it. The boy at the desk was named Marcus. Marcus Patterson, 11 years old, born with a severe anxiety disorder. The dog, a golden retriever named Sonny, was prescribed by his psychiatrist, trained to sense Marcus's panic attacks, to calm him down, to keep him grounded. Marcus's grandmother, Dorothy Patterson, was staying at the hotel. Wealthy woman. Her late husband had been a successful businessman, one of the few black men in LA who'd made it big. Dorothy had money, had class, had earned respect in circles that usually wouldn't give it. She'd sent for Marcus, wanted to spend time with her grandson, sent him a taxi voucher, told him to come to the hotel. Marcus had never been to a place like this. Big lobby, marble floors, crystal chandeliers, fancy people everywhere. He was nervous. Sonny helped. The dog's presence kept him calm, until the manager saw them. The manager's name was Charles Whitmore, had worked at the Beverly Wilshire for 15 years, started as a clerk, worked his way up, believed the hotel's reputation depended on standards. His standards included no dogs, and though he'd never say it officially, no black guests unless they were famous, or rich enough that refusing them would cause problems. A young black boy with a dog? That crossed every line Charles drew. Didn't matter that the dog was a service animal. Didn't matter that Marcus had a legitimate reservation through his grandmother. Charles saw what he wanted to see, a problem, and he was going to remove it. Dean approached the desk. His footsteps on the marble caught Charles's attention. Charles looked up. His demeanor changed instantly, went from hostile to obsequious. "Mr. Martin, what a pleasure. How can I help you today?" Dean didn't smile. "You can start by apologizing to this young man." Charles blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" Dean gestured to Marcus. "This young man, with the service dog, who has a reservation, who you just refused service to, while insulting him. I want you to apologize." Charles's face flickered through several emotions. Confusion, embarrassment, then defensiveness. "Mr. Martin, I'm sure you understand. We have policies, no dogs in the hotel. It's a health code issue. And as for, he lowered his voice. "As for the other matter, we maintain certain standards here." Dean's voice was ice. "Standards? Is that what we're calling bigotry now?" The lobby was getting quiet. People were noticing. Conversations stopping mid-sentence. A movie star confronting the hotel manager. This was drama, real drama, entertainment. But more than that, this was a moral moment playing out in public. People slowed down, stopped walking, turned to watch. Some moved closer. wanting to hear, wanting to see what would happen. The lobby had maybe 40 people in it. Guests checking in, guests checking out, staff, bellhops, concierge, all of them watching now. Charles was sweating, actual beads of sweat forming on his forehead. His collar suddenly too tight, his suit suddenly too warm. He was trapped, in public, with a celebrity who had leverage, with witnesses everywhere. His careful world of quiet discrimination was being dragged into the light, and he was panicking. "Mr. Martin, please, let's discuss this privately." Dean shook his head. "No, we'll discuss it right here, right now. This boy has a service dog. That's a medical necessity, protected by law. His grandmother is a paying guest in room 412. That gives him every right to be here. And you just told him no dogs and no blacks. I heard you. Everyone here heard you. So now you're going to apologize. And then you're going to take him to his grandmother's room." Personally, Charles looked around, at the growing crowd, at the other staff members watching, at the guests staring. His career was on the line. He knew it, but his pride wouldn't let him back down completely. "Mr. Martin, with all respect, this is hotel policy. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them." Dean smiled, but it wasn't a friendly smile. It was the smile of someone who knew exactly how much power they had and was about to use all of it. "Hotel policy? Let's test that theory. Call the owner, right now. Get Robert Hernandez on the phone. Let's see if refusing service to a child with a legally protected medical service dog is actually hotel policy, or if it's just your policy, your personal bigotry masquerading as rules. Because I'm betting Robert doesn't know you're doing this. I'm betting he'd be horrified. So call him, right now. Let's find out together." Charles's hands were shaking now. Calling the owner would expose everything, would end his career. He tried another tack, pleading. Charles went pale. That's not necessary. I'm sure we can work something out." Dean pulled out his wallet, extracted a card, his room key. He'd been staying in the penthouse suite. "Here's my key. I'm checking out right now, and I'm never coming back. Not to perform, not to stay, not to recommend this place to anyone. And I'm going to make sure every person I know in this industry knows exactly why. That the Beverly Wilshire refused service to a child with a service dog and used racial slurs. Let's see how your bookings look after that." The crowd murmured, low voices, shocked whispers. This was serious. This wasn't just a celebrity throwing weight around. This was Dean Martin putting his reputation and his money where his mouth was. Him boycotting the Beverly Wilshire would be major news, would be picked up by Variety, by The Hollywood Reporter, by the LA Times. Entertainment columnists would write about it. Other celebrities would hear, would make their own choices about staying here. The Beverly Wilshire depended on Hollywood business, on being the place where stars stayed, where they felt welcome. Losing Dean Martin's endorsement would cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions over time. Charles knew it, knew exactly what was at stake. His face was ashen now, gray, sick. "Mr. Martin, please, don't be rash. I'm sure we can resolve this." Dean put his key on the desk. "Resolve it? Apologize to Marcus. Take him to his grandmother. And change your policies, all of them. Then maybe I'll consider coming back." Charles looked at Marcus. The boy was standing there, quiet, Sonny sitting beside him, perfect behavior. The dog wasn't barking, wasn't causing problems, just sitting, doing its job. Charles knew he'd lost. I apologize to you, young man. That was inappropriate. If you'll follow me, I'll take you to your grandmother's room." His voice was stiff, forced, but it was an apology. Dean looked at Marcus. "You okay with that?" Marcus nodded, small voice. "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir." Dean smiled at him. Real smile this time. "You're welcome. What's your name?" Marcus looked up. "Marcus, sir. Marcus Patterson. This is Sonny." He gestured to the dog. Dean knelt down. "Pet Sonny." The dog wagged its tail. "Sonny's a good dog. You're lucky to have him." Marcus smiled. First time since entering the hotel. "Yes, sir. He helps me when I get scared." Dean stood up. "Well, you were very brave just now. Standing up for yourself and Sonny, that takes courage. Charles was waiting, impatient. Dean gave him a look. Treat them right, I'll be checking. Charles nodded, led Marcus and Sonny to the elevators, disappeared. The crowd in the lobby slowly dispersed, but several people came up to Dean, thanked him, told him that was the right thing to do. Dean shrugged. It's not about doing the right thing. It's about not doing the wrong thing. That boy did nothing wrong. His dog did nothing wrong. They didn't deserve that. Dean went to the front desk. Different clerk now. Young woman. She'd watched everything. Mr. Martin, are you really checking out? Dean thought. No, but I am going to speak to the owner. Is Mr. Hernandez in? The clerk nodded. Yes, sir. His office is upstairs. I can call him. Dean smiled. Please do. 10 minutes later, Dean was in the owner's office. Robert Hernandez, third-generation owner of the Beverly Wilshire. Good man, progressive for his time. Dean told him everything. What Charles had said, what Charles had done. Robert's face went red. He said what? To a child? Dean nodded. Exact words. No dogs and no blacks, in front of a lobby full of people. Robert stood up, paced. That's not our policy. We welcome service animals. We welcome all guests regardless of race. Charles knows this, or he should. Dean leaned forward. Then why did he do it? Robert sighed. Charles is old school, came up in a different era. I've been trying to change the culture here, but some people resist. This is the last straw. Robert picked up his phone. Send Charles Whitmore to my office. Immediately. He hung up, looked at Dean. I'm firing him. Today. This ends now. Charles arrived 5 minutes later. Saw Dean, knew why he was there. Robert didn't waste time. Charles, you're fired. Clean out your desk. You have 1 hour. Charles stammered. But sir, I was just enforcing... Robert cut him off. You were enforcing your bigotry, not hotel policy. Get out. Charles left, defeated, humiliated. Robert turned to Dean. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, for standing up for that boy. Dean shook his head. You don't thank someone for basic decency, but I do want something. Robert nodded. Name it. Dean smiled. I want you to personally go to room 412, apologize to Mrs. Patterson and her grandson, explain what happened, and comp their entire stay. Make this right. Robert agreed. Did exactly that. Went to room 412, apologized profusely to Dorothy Patterson, explained that Charles had been fired, that this didn't represent the hotel's values. Dorothy was gracious, accepted the apology. Marcus was sitting with Sonny, calm now, happy. Robert knelt down. Marcus, I'm sorry for how you were treated. You and Sonny are welcome here. Always. Anytime your grandmother visits, you come too. No questions. No problems. Marcus smiled. Thank you, sir. Sonny likes it here. The lobby has nice floors, not too slippery. Robert laughed. Well, Sonny's opinion matters. If he approves, that's good enough for me. Dean visited them before he left. Brought Marcus a Coke, brought Sonny a treat, sat with them for an hour, talked, learned about Marcus's life, his anxiety, how Sonny helped, Marcus's dreams, wanted to be a veterinarian, help animals the way Sonny helped him. Dean encouraged him. You'd be great at that. You clearly love animals, and you're brave. Took guts to stand up to that manager. Even when I showed up, you stayed calm, stayed polite. That's strength. Marcus looked at Dean. Mr. Martin, why did you help me? You don't know me, Dean thought. Because it was right. Because you needed help. Because nobody should be treated the way that man treated you. And because, he pet Sonny, because anyone who has a dog this good must be a good person. Dogs don't lie. Sonny trusts you. That's enough for me. Stories like this one deserve to be remembered. The moments when legends use their power to protect the powerless. The stand taken when silence would have been easier. If you want to hear more stories about the people who shaped an era, the justice fought for quietly, And the humanity that changed policies, this channel tells those stories. Because these aren't just tales about famous people, they're lessons about using privilege to help those who have none. Marcus Patterson did become a veterinarian, graduated from UC Davis in 1977, opened a practice in South Central LA, focused on providing affordable care to low-income families. Sonny lived until Marcus was 18, helped him through high school, through college applications, through the anxiety that never fully went away but became manageable. When Sonny died, Marcus was devastated, but he'd learned something from that day at the Beverly Wilshire, that standing up for what's right matters, that good people exist, that sometimes help comes from unexpected places. In 1985, Marcus wrote Dean a letter, thanked him for that day 20 years ago, told him about his practice, about the kids he was helping get service dogs, about how that one moment of Dean standing up for him had changed his life, showed him that he mattered, that he deserved respect. Dean wrote back, short note, Marcus, you always mattered. I just made sure that manager knew it. Proud of what you've become. Keep helping those kids. Keep helping those dogs. That's what heroes do. And you're a hero. Dean. That's the Dean Martin story that should be told. Not just the cool persona, but the man who walked into a hotel lobby and heard bigotry and refused to ignore it, who risked his relationship with a prestigious hotel to defend a child and a dog, who understood that fame means nothing if you don't use it to protect people who can't protect themselves. Charles Whitmore said, "No dogs, no blacks," and thought his position gave him power. Dean Martin showed him it didn't. That real power is standing up for what's right even when it costs you something. The manager lost his job. Marcus gained hope. The hotel changed its culture. And everyone watching learned that silence makes you complicit. Dean didn't stay silent. He stepped in. And everything changed. Not just for Marcus. For everyone who saw it. For everyone who heard the story. For everyone who learned that one person speaking up can shift the world. That's not just courage. That's character. And Dean Martin had both.